Hey folks, it's Lindsay Hudson with SPS back in the building for another SPS Edge Show. I will not be alone. I'll be joined shortly by my guy Terry TJ McCord Jr. It's these contract negotiations. You know, when he's ready to get some more money, he'll always hold out a little bit, make me sweat a little bit. But no, I'm just joking. He's en route. I don't think our guy, Coach Orlando Watkins, will be with us. Detroit Public Community School District. He's always on hand doing some great things. But we got a great show lined up. Looking forward to having some great dialogue and just enjoying. So we'll be joined by TJ shortly. We'll get this thing going. But to all the viewers and listeners, I want to thank you for the continued support you've been providing to the SPS Edge Show. We just want to talk about what's going on. We want to be able to get your opinions and views. I really appreciate the vast and diverse views that we're able to talk about here. I think it's important. Not important just because it's sports that we're talking about, and so many of us love sports. But the reality is that sports is a very integral part of our lives. And to have this platform, free flowing information, and free thoughts, I think is a really good thing. So it won't be too long. And we'll be going. If there's any comments, anything people want to get started with, we can go from there. But looking forward to having a really good lineup and talking about some fun things today on the show, if you will. Just don't want to have you guys just waiting like that. We say we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So just stand by shortly. We'll be there in a moment. See, we got some viewers. Who's out there? Drop a comment. Say what's happening. See, I'm representing for 7 Mile. Evergreen, that's Henry Ford High School. Henry Ford Soldiers. Thought I told you. That's right, the Henry Ford Trojans. Shout out to Moneyball. My guy Desmond doing big things. Opening his new headquarters. $1 million renovation taking place right in Lansing. As he says, grow with us. A lot of things going on. See what we got right here. Hello, Kelly McCord, and happy belated birthday. For the record, I did say happy birthday on your birthday. So I got into that birthday window. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I mean, it's kind of cool. You got a birthday, then you got a weekend coming up. So, hey, no telling where you guys will be, what city you'll be in, what event you'll be at, what concert, whatever. What do you say? Thank you. You did, for the record. Eugene North Sr. What's up, family? Representing the Jaguars of Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. It's that time, man. It's that time to see you out there. Cool, calm, and collective. Telling them guys what to do, man. What's up? Back for another season, man. Looking forward to seeing you out and about. Want to check on your guys, man. Looking forward to it. Oh, see, I know this. You saw that 7 Mile. Santora Coleman. What's up, family? Hey, brother. Santora says, people got to say what's up to my bro. Hey, bro, hopefully all is good, man. I'm blessed in the land of the living, brother. So blessed, man. So good to see you, man. Kelly also says, went to see Cat Williams at the Fox last weekend to celebrate. Came back cussing all the way to Lansing, didn't you? I'm just playing. Cat, how you doing it? Eugene says, time to rock and roll. Yes, it is, man. It's that time, man. I know we got a lot of football fans, but, man, we talking basketball, man. It's getting ready to go down. Joey! What's up, Joey? You say, what up, my guy? It's been a minute. Just want to say, keep up the good. Brother, I appreciate you, man. Such the salt of the earth, man. I appreciate you, Joey. We got to get up. We got to meet over at our spot and get it in, man. I appreciate you, Joey. I see Cut in the building. Brian Payne. holding it down. What's up, man? My guy, salute right back at you, man. Santura laughing, talking about my guy. This is my fam, all my people, man. You say good, glad to see. I'm glad to be seen, man. You know how it is. R.I.P. Big Ox, part of the Henry Ford family, man. It's just amazing that we grow up as children with each other. I mean, and just as Santura said it, we go way back, bro. Yeah, we do. We grow up as children. You go from being a child to, Joey knows, Eugene, go from being a child to an adult, and then in between that time, things happen. Santura say, yeah, for sure. Ron, I ain't alone. Terry be going through these contract negotiations with me, so he'll wait till it's showtime, and he'd be like, I'm going to let him sweat for a minute, see if he going to ink this deal. Nah, bro, Ron, nah, we good. We going to get it going in a second. For sure. Keeping up with these comments, I appreciate nobody. Let me know. Yeah, man, for sure, Joey. We go definitely do. We can't get up at the juvenile detention facility to hoop like we would use to with Nez and everybody. That was a good time, but that was cool. Santura say for life, man. You right. Joey said, yeah, man, number love for Ox. Yeah, we're gonna get things going. I know he's working to get his way in. Terry is. Latasha, Prince, hey, what's happening? Appreciate all the love you give us from Ohio. Don't want to come down them hoops. You be talking Boston. That's cool. Hey, you guys started out good, but I don't know. Got these other teams making moves, but it's a long season, Latasha. I know you know. But we're going to be all right today. So what I will do, I know Terry is working his way in. I just saw some communication from him, but I will get us started. We are talking high school football to begin with. I am going to be in Detroit tomorrow, actually heading over to Macomb County because it's going to be going down. You're going to have the Dakota Cougars will be Macomb Dakota Cougars get some CT technicians, the cast technicians. Shout out to the Fox team and Andrew Fox Jr. You're going to be seeing some communication from him shortly. He's one of our sponsors, a key supporter of what's going on and everything. Latasha says, what'd she say? I'll be moving up that way soon. Is that right? You coming this way? Okay. Well, you be close. We have to have you on the show and everything. That's a good thing. Well, let us know what's going on. Come on back this way. But yeah, I'm going to be over at Macomb, Dakota. Let's see what's going to happen. Their most recent win, Macomb, Dakota, that is, was against Romeo. It was a very low-scoring game. It was 17-0, and I just wonder how that's going to translate to the high-octane offense that Cass Tech provides. Latasha said, sounds good. Okay, we're going to hold you to that. Hold you that for real. So we'll see what happens. But I want to thank, again, the Fox team led by Andrew Fox Jr., powered by Good Company Realty, and really looking forward to being able to continue to get his support for these events that are taking place, including the Derek Coleman tip-off that's taking place on Monday, December 5th. SPS will be in the building. And then just a few days later, we'll be over at the Horatio Williams Foundation showcase. DC's event is going to be taking place on... Show you about DC. Hold on, I'm having some trouble pulling this up here. Everything is a little touchy. Okay, give me 1 second. There we go. It's a tip-off. And okay, let's see if we can bring Terry in. 1 second. My device. Terry McCord. He was there for a second. He was gone. Terry, maybe you just want to try your phone, man. Come in on your phone. You don't got to be all on a computer. Come on in on that mobile device. You can get it like that too. We'd love to have you. But what I was going to say is that we're looking forward to some great things that are going on. High school football is wrapping up. So what's going to be happening with SPS, folks, is that this tomorrow I'll be promoting and covering the game Cass Tech versus Macomb, Dakota. I'll be off that next weekend, spending time with my daughter. That's our weekend to hang out and chill. Got to put her first. She's the only thing that comes before my sports. And then after that, it's going to be some smoking in the city. Be at Ford Field. That's right. Was just down there last night over at the DAC, the Detroit Athletic Club. Shout out to Stephen Bernard, Anthony Bernard, having his official signing for Mercer basketball. And boom, Ford Field is literally a stone's throw away. Got a cool shot with the Ford Field in the background. Have to put that up there. But then, yeah, we'll be there for the high school state finals to crown a champion. We'll see. Will it be, King repeating, or will it be a new champion? We will definitely see. I look forward to that. So that's going to be going on. I'm going to keep us moving that when Terry shows, we'll have some other things. And I know he wants to talk about them college football upsets, so I'm not even going to encroach on what's going on with Terry at the time, because you talk about college football, Terry be ready to fight, man. I said, if it ever come down to it, we got a bar fight, we go tell Terry they was talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes, and Terry going to be ready. He's going to be ready. But, a new announcement as well, some could call controversial, with Jeff Saturday, former ESPN analyst, taking over as the new interim head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. I don't have the image up right now, but you guys saw that on the promotion. And it was an interesting conversation about that because, Jeff Saturday, he's a homer. He was part of the Indianapolis Colts Ring of Honor, was part of their, successful run, a Super Bowl run and all that. And owner Irsay says, hey, don't bet your money against this guy right here. But we get to talking about, this process and protocol, because many can make the argument that when it comes down to African-American coaches and the NFL, people make the argument that there's such a small amount because they are not experienced enough. And it was Joy Taylor. She was going in, beautiful and all. She was going in. I shouldn't comment on her beauty. Talk about her ability to talk about sports. Excuse me, Joy, if you hear that, don't be offended. But at least you heard I said it. She talked about, this is not cool. This is not cool when you have somebody who can just walk into this process and pretty much just throws the Rooney Rule out the window, which many of us know the Rooney Rule to be that one opportunity for minorities to put themselves in a position to be interviewed to get a head coaching job. And one of the greatest successes of the Rooney Rule was head coach Mike Tomlin, who delivered Super Bowl to the famed Pittsburgh Steelers. But, I love to be able to have someone's comments on that. I guess why I am not as pressed over this is it is an interim role, but that's important. And I don't know, maybe because I like Jeff Saturday, so I have to take my bias out of it. And maybe in this interim role where, you probably have an organization that's having a lot of trouble internally, you just need somebody who can just get the people going. I remember when Gary Moeller came back temporarily to be with that. Oh, I guess he got tired of holding out on a contract negotiation. Oh, you got tired of holding out on a contract negotiation? You kill me with these contract negotiations in public, man. We supposed to discuss contracts privately, yeah. Terry. Not you saying I'm gonna wait a whole 15 minutes. No, I'm joking, man. We've been rocking. Everybody been asking for you, but you good. It's okay. You okay, brother? Take a deep breath.
I'm about to say, if anything that.
Okay, I'm not hearing you. There you go.
Can you hear me right now?
No, I still can't hear you now. So we figure out what's up. And man, I want to make sure that's not me. It's not on my end. Let's see. All right, why don't you try again? Make sure that wasn't me.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There we go. You're in the building. See, you come on and all the comments start coming in. Ron says, okay. Oh, Kelly says she can hear. Ron, I want to go back to what Ron said. Are you with McElroy or Saban? McElroy coming out of Florida? Who's that you referring to?
Ooh.
You got to think about that.
I think you're talking about Greg McElroy or Saban.
As far as what, I don't have the context behind that.
I ain't heard nothing about that either.
Ron, you got to give us a little bit more clarity on that. We always rock with you. Give us a little clarity. So how about this? What I was just talking about as you came on, and we'll go back to it. But I was talking about Saturday coaching on Sundays. Jeff Saturday getting the interim head coaching position. And when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And credit to my mom. She was like, this ain't right. And then Joy Taylor, came on and she went in. She said, TJ is echoing on our end. TJ, you got an echo going on. You got two devices going on, or you're only in the system one time on my end?
I think I only got one. But I think it's because it's on my phone.
Okay. Well, we'll be okay. It just may be a little delayed. We'll get through it. But what I was going to say was, this Jeff Saturday situation, it really kind of flies in the face of the Rooney Rule. I have to give credit to Joy Taylor. She made a comment. She said he is grossly underqualified. The last time Jeff Saturday coached, the highest level Jeff Saturday coached on was high school. And somebody even was like, man, he had a 3-5 record then. So it's like, it's very convenient to call Jeff Saturday in. People make the argument with some of the people that's already on staff, Reggie Wayne in particular. But then some argue he may not even wanted the job. Sometimes everybody don't want that head coaching position. So, Terry, when you hear about Jeff Saturday coaching on Sundays, getting that job pretty much just like with a handshake based on his relationships, what do you think about that?
Man, it just goes to show that having a platform, whether it's on ESPN or you see Pat McAfee getting his own show and being on college game day just because of his presence. And I think, like my dad saying, very disrespectful not only black coaches, but all coaches. Just to show them his platform and who he is. Granted, one of the best centers we've ever seen. But even that, you still got to be in the game to see what Jack Vaughn was going with the Nets. Guy that's been in the league for like 25 years. So has done his dues. And I feel like Jeff Saturday, although his analytics are on point, he's one of my favorites, hearing him rip it. But as far as coaching, I just feel like it doesn't always translate. I was surprised on the fire itself. I thought the coach was in a tough spot. I didn't necessarily think it was coach. It was a big conservative, but I think that, for him to get this job speaks volumes how he just got a platform on the audience.
Okay, I just want to, on a technical piece, let's do this for a second, Terry. I got a note that they're still getting the echo. Why don't you go out and try to come back in one more time and see if that impacts it. I appreciate you, Brother Banks. Appreciate it. We're going to get together. Yeah, and this Jeff Saturday deal, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Terry says totally disrespectful to other coaches. It is. And it's just like, I think society's at a point, I shouldn't say society, we're at a point that we expect protocol, man. It's almost like, I thought about this with Terry, like Jeff Saturday may be the new Steve Nash of football, right? Somebody who's well-liked and just walks into an opportunity. Now, it's not quite a ready-made opportunity as what the opportunity was with the Brooklyn Nets when you had, Kyrie at the time, James Harden, just about KD and all that. But now the pressure's on him. And it's almost like to his disadvantage when these guys get these kind of opportunities, instead of them being able to fly under the radar, they going to have all eyes on them, man, complete scrutiny. And, and if there's a possibility for him to go, 500, so be it. Ed took it there. Which say good old boy system. They call it the beer factor. Who you want to have a beer with? And let's stay with what you're saying, Ed. They talk about in higher education, particularly when it's hiring athletic directors and things like that. People are quick to say, well, there's no one qualified and no one around. Well, from a psychological standpoint, you tend to be drawn to people who are more like you. The things that you do, where you hang out, and you have that. Ed, we got our ties going back to Western Michigan. That's a natural connection. But if we went to school on the East Coast, if we were always involved in these, smaller individual groups, there's going to be that connection there. And it's not to say that individuals outside of, white males aren't qualified. It's just that they don't necessarily have the opportunity because they're not around. Ed says exactly, and that's a challenge. Because when you start talking about issues with diversity, it has an impact across the board. And let's just be honest, man. The NFL, I can't even say the percentage about how many black players are being coached by white coaches, that is. So it's something to think about, it's something to watch. I think there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on Jeff Saturday. He may be able to make it through the fire as it relates to the media, because he's a member of the media. So they're going to be a little less, hateful to him. Even I was watching Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max, and even Keyshawn, who could be critical, but he was kind of like, we go see. You saw the thumbs up from TJ. I saw the thumbs up. You good?
Hey, the luxury of being at the job, you can use your work computer. So I had to make
hey, we don't know this. We got you. We got the man back. So, Ed Banks talked about the Good Old Boy Network, man. And I believe that what we may hear in the media may not be a real reflection of how people feel because Jeff Saturday is a member of the media. So they're going to be less likely to just torch him. But look, Joy Taylor, and I don't want to sound sexist. Kelly, help me out. I was just talking to your mom a second ago. First of all, Joy Taylor is a beautiful woman. I think people won't argue against that. But she was going in. When I say she was going in and was strong about her opinion, I don't even want to sound sexist to say, what's the difference between her going in and some male going in. But, man, I loved every minute, and I appreciated what she was saying. I think it started with Jemele Hill. And Jemele, unfortunately for Jemele, Terry, and shout out to Jemele, I remember when she was here at Michigan State, my former high school coach, Bill Carter, his daughter, Kelly Carter, who used to be involved with the Undefeated, and her and Jemele were tight, so there were times that we would see each other hanging out. Unfortunately for Jemele, she's become such a lightning rod that whenever she speaks on any issue, people kind of dig in on her, without even giving benefit of doubt. So I don't know, man. Just give me your take on this Jeff Saturday thing. I am a believer that beyond when you talk about qualifications, Jeff meets other criteria that may help him. Now I could be putting my foot in my mouth. I could be setting myself up because while you were off and coming back in, I said he might be the football version of Steve Nash. We get right in there and think it's going to work out. But the last thing I'll say, the difference between Steve Nash going to Brooklyn and Jeff Saturday going to the Indianapolis Colts, he's a Colt, and they respect him, and he's good in it. And I think that's huge because it all comes down to respect. You know that as a coach. I mean, how beneficial is it to you when you're coaching, even though you're coaching girls, you're coaching at your alma mater compared to going somewhere else?
No, you have to. And I think that's why, with me going into the lunches and tutoring the football team, always being around, the ladies and also being around the boys. So, always being a constant presence is very important. But I think just Saturday, I like the comparison you use with Nash, though. It's something that is something you can point to as someone who is, the analytics or the IQ. But that doesn't always translate as far as coaching, which is why they say not every great basketball player can be a great coach or a front office. So it just doesn't translate well, but because someone, it's always going to get you a seat at the table.
Yeah. I think the fair argument, and shout out to Joy, this is not because I'm swooning over her right now. I'm having my Joy Taylor moment publicly with everybody. But to her point, America, and we're going to talk about this later in the show, obviously, America is curated on a system of protocols. There's supposed to be these protocols that we're supposed to go through. It starts from kindergarten to high school, and we go through these protocols. And when people usurp it, and when people go around the protocols, people get up in the air about it, But we've seen it happen so many times. Ed kind of alluded to it when he talked about. The Good Old Boy Network, but we remain to be seen. I mean, short of him going 500, and let's face it, making the playoffs, that's the only way he gonna keep him off his back. And if that's the case, and then again, it's America's owner's perspective. It's the owner's right to do what he want to do. So we'll see. But what I do want to do, man, for your sake, let's go back to, those college football upsets. I mean, upset city, right? I don't know which one impacted you the most, but let's just take a moment to go back, man, and reflect on some of those college football upsets. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, and to go back to what Ron was saying, I just realized what he was saying. I forgot Greg McElroy came out and said something as far as they usually don't come out with many concerns about Alabama, but he said he's worried about kind of the dynasty of what Alabama once was might be taking a turn, might have hit their plateau to start coming back down. And so Saban fired back, basically saying in some regards, that's not the case. You can't win every time. But I think that game mostly was the biggest upset. I don't think Tennessee and Georgia was an upset. Not even though the Vegas odds favor Georgia, you can point there. But I just Georgia being at home and what they bring to the table, running game, passing game look on point. I don't think that was much of an upset. I think we pretty much knew that coming in. Georgia would win. But LSU, a two-loss team in the SEC, has a chance to run the table and control their own destiny and get in Atlanta and hopefully get into the college football playoff. That's the biggest story right now. Can LSU continue their momentum and roll their way all the way to Atlanta and then pick up a much-needed win to go further? I'm not sure if they will, but JT Daniels is a baller. And to go back to the beginning of the year when he made that transfer decision to leave Arizona State, man, I don't know if you remember, but there was a video going around. Former players were trashing his locker room, saying that he sucked anyway, and they were upset. I mean, the guy that basically came out and said, kept it real. He said, hey, I feel like I want to get put on a different stage where I feel like I can showcase my talent. Take it how you want it. I mean, he pretty much said, take it how you want it. I'm going to SEC, I'm going to play against the best players and the best teams in the nation. And he has not proved that to be wrong yet. It shows that he's a good quality quarterback. But I mean, there's two bosses in Florida State and the one in Tennessee, which a lot of people wrote them off. But as Geno Smith said, they didn't write back, and they picked up a much-needed win against Alabama at home. I mean, just Brian Kelly's guts to go for two and win the game. I think if Alabama, we've seen these games before, when Alabama gets you to overtime, Alabama is more than likely to win if you look at the analytical side and how often they come out of close games on the road or at home in overtime. But LSU, the guts to go for it after that drive to win the game, it just shows that Brian Kelly trusts JT, he trusts their team. And for them to have all the rumors about players leaving week one to be in position to get in the college football playoffs, we might just see the first ever two-loss team in the playoffs.
Wow. I think Gino Amarari is going to have a new role as being a speechwriter, and the first speech he can write is for Nick Saban. But Nick's been telling us this for years. He's been telling us, like, when there be a loss, he'd be like, what do y'all expect? You can't keep doing this. And I'm reminded of going back to probably the highlight of the Dynasty, man. They had some of those fans, for one of those crimson and white games, and there was this dude sitting there. He was like, hey, man, we a dynasty. And he was just like, he was a representation of the height of Alabama, but you cannot stay up like that. It just doesn't happen. We even saw... It really started, if you want to say, is when Dabo and Clemson started winning, and then you saw those recruits starting to split, where Alabama just wasn't the dominant recruiting class. And I think it was just a domino effect. But shout out to Ed Banks. He said it right. College football at its best. That's why college football is better than pro ball. Any given thing, anything can happen. And that's the thing, because as Feinbaum would say, okay, let's wait and see what's about to happen. You also know, especially that last week, that conference championship, we're like, all right, you got to wait and see. And it would just mess you up all the way around. So I think it's good for the game because, let's be honest, man, these last couple of years, with the exception of what's happening, what have been going on with Alabama's dominance, man, it just got tiring when you were seeing like the same teams matched up. But I think it gives credit to the college football playoff system that it really worked. Man got a question for later. Odell could do the Cowboys. What we do is for the Rams. We'll make sure we get to that.
One more thing to add. A lot of people are coming, and Paul Feinbaum came and talked about Saban's coaching. If you really look at that game, Alabama, granted had one turnover at the time of possession, was about the same. It was just two heavyweight fighters just throwing blows, and LSU just happened to have the last laugh and the ball at the end. A lot of times, teams beat you playing what you think may be your best game. Now, defensively, there were laps, and Alabama, over the course of the years, have struggled with mobile quarterbacks. It's been known. Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson. You go back to the Bo Wallace days when Ole Miss beat Alabama in that big game they had at home with Ole Miss. So Alabama has always had trouble against mobile quarterbacks. JT Daniels is not your typical mobile quarterback. He's a dual threat. Guy that can beat you with his leg and also with his arm. So I just think that Alabama did play their game, played one of their better games offensively. Bryce Young was great, but granted, the turnover hurts. But I just think that it's not really a coaching thing. I just think that Bama playing kind of like about their best ball against another team playing their best ball. LSU just didn't make any mistakes, and Alabama just got caught slipping at that.
Yeah, and then, to wrap up on this, you make a good point, man. It's only for so long before you pull the curtain back on the Wizard. It's only for so long that you go from. I mean, perfect example is USA basketball. You go from Dream Team with the guys asking for autographs and taking photos to getting their head cracked by these international teams. It's only so long, and I think it's nobody really to point to. I mean, and I wouldn't believe in any criticism to Nick Saban outside of how he gets sometime when he gets pissed off, he gets a little crotchety, whatever, whatnot. But I mean, what you gonna do, man? He's been the most dominant coach in sports for so many years. Probably nobody's going to do what he's done, in our lifetime. If they do, I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be out of nowhere, especially with that kind of program. And let's just tip our hat, man, and be happy with that. So with that being said, we'll get ready to move on, man. Talk about a very interesting thing, man. Let me check out this comment really quick. It's Ed Banks' family say playing at home gives his team an extra boost. It certainly does. It's like extra 3 points. It says that's that 12th man. Tennessee beat Alabama at home just like LSU did. Oh, yeah. I mean, at home, man, let me tell you something. Shout out to our buddy Donez. And I remember Donez hit me up early this year. I think he attended the Western Michigan State game, and he was checking with me to see if I was going to be at the game. And the reason why, because he felt the energy. Terry, you know about that. You've been there. Let me tell you something. Oh, yeah. But when you go down there on that field, and even not to necessarily be on the field, man, and then those that energy comes through that place, man, it lights you up. So if you can imagine, if you're an alumni, or if you're a current student and you've been tailgating all day and you're there and you're in the moment, it's probably one of the most collective human moments where people's energy is there. And for a non-sports person or people who don't attend these type of, I can't explain to you. And you don't get that in the NFL game. That college, man, they know like they're playing all the latest jams, so it's a really, really big thing. So you're absolutely right, Ed. That's an extra boost, and people are taking advantage of it. So with that, man, we're going to stay on this football piece, man, with the NFL. Them night games. And that's probably why Michigan was like, hey, man, it's been a long time. We're going to have to turn these lights on. We're going to have to pull out every stop. Turn the lights on the field and turn the cameras off in the tunnel. No, I couldn't help that, man. I'll leave that alone, right? So with that being said, man, the visual's not up, man, but hey, Jay is making a move, talking about getting with, Mr. Amazon himself, the other B, Jeff Bezos, and buying the Washington Commanders. Dan Snyder said, I'm tired of all this. I'm about to get up out the game. But here's what I say you got to watch out for. Watch out for the bait and switch. Because although Jay-Z has his popularity and Jeff Bezos, we know, is not lacking for anything, they still might not be the minority crew. I think the dark horse, no pun intended, give me a break, is whatever group Byron Allen is with. Because Byron Allen spoke with so much confidence when the Denver Broncos were sold to Melanie Hobson, right? He spoke with so much confidence that, oh yeah, we go get a team. So although the headlines are talking about Jay-Z and Bezos going in, and people say, oh, that's a done deal, Mr. Amazon, and Mr. Marcy projects coming together, and Jay has kind of been, behind the scenes for a while, going back to Colin Kaepernick, and people can say, well, that was a controversial role he took, whatever, whatnot. But I would say every time we get caught up, and we're going to talk about this in a second, for example, Jauque Vaughn becoming the head coach of the Nets and not Ime, whatever may be put out there publicly could be to kind of get us off the scent a little bit, but what's going on? Because Byron Allen spoke with great confidence, saying, oh, we getting the team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they may be one of the ones. And then, I don't know what Magic is at. We're looking at other team ownership or whatever it may be. So what do you think about the potential or the possibility of a Jay-Z, Bezos coming together for the Washington Commanders?
I didn't even think about Allen. That's a good point you brought that up. Whoever it is, let's just get a real team name. I'm sick of this Commanders. I'm like football team. I just think that there's so much potential with that DC area to have a great team name. Commanders isn't bad. We do like that all-black combo they have. But, Washington right now needs a sense of direction. Just a lot of noise, great core pieces there. A bit of a quarterback issue there. But just a lot of question marks, but key things that you can help build. But they just need a sense of direction. But Allen, like you mentioned, the fact that he speaks with such confidence is somebody that could have a potential chance to make a move for it. But with this stuff, man, you just never know who's moving on the back end. Only stuff that gets reported is the big name stuff. So it could be somebody we don't even know of that's moving and making moves, and none of the big time reporters like Schefter and all these guys that just haven't got to yet. We just don't know.
I mean, you got to think about it, man. Let's just talk about when you were transitioning to a new job. They tell you keep it quiet. Don't talk about it right now because it's a very delicate time in that process from the idea to it coming to fruition. So the fact that we're talking about Jay-Z and Jeff Bezos buying the Washington Commanders, I'm almost saying, man, it's not going to happen. And I'm not being, just, poo-pooing what's going on, hating on it, but the fact that we know about it, because what have we seen time and time again with professional sports? Whatever story goes out there, something else happens in the interim or something else happens to go in a different direction. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep an eye out for that. Before we move on, we'll stay on the NFL. Shout out to Mike's Hoops page. He said, big game from Rodgers. Prove he still can he prove he's still elite QB. He seems so salty right now. Chief needs a statement win against the Jags. What do you think about that, Terry?
I don't know if the Chiefs need a statement win. I feel like they're one of the better teams. But I mean, last week the Chiefs proved that when all the stuff goes wrong, they still gonna find a way to win. Because to me, they had the MVP to lead Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. Him and Jalen Hurts to me are MVP 1 and 2 right now. But I mean, Jaguars kind of inconsistent team. You just never know who you're gonna get. So they could play the Jaguars on their best day and get a solid win there if that's where you're trying to go with that. But as far as Odell with the Cowboys, I just feel like, man, the Cowboys, to me, Dak has just become such a game manager at this point. Coming in, man,
is that a critique you're giving? Game manager and not a leader, so to speak?
I don't think it's a bad critique. Just because of how great their defense is, how great their running game can be, and their play action. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just feel like with Dak coming in, I think he is a lot less limited than Cooper Rush was. It's definitely an upgrade. But I do think that Dak just doesn't have to make many mistakes. The defense going to keep him in there. Pollard or Zeke will give you some, but Pollard looks great. CD Lamb, and they get those guys go to show. It's like the Cowboys have players, and their defense. Parsons, I think, is one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best. I just think that right now Dak is in a position where he's kind of game managing, but Odell could be a cherry on top. Once he gets fully healthy, they can add him there. I mean, he's still talking about the Bills. Rams are still in the mix a little bit. But I do think that Cowboys could be a spot. I even heard rumors about him maybe going back to the Giants. Because don't forget, the Giants are still in that mix as well. Great defense. Daniel Jones is still trying to make it play a little bit using his feet. But they're relying heavy on that run game. I do think that the Cowboys are a bit more attractive as far as what they do with the offense and how they can hit Odell Beckham. I do think that that's something that Odell will use. Because, man, you got to think about it. Odell Beckham has had experiences where he's came into an ideal situation. Also, Cleveland, right? Came into Cleveland. This kind of changed my own team. Like Baker Mayfield wasn't able to get Odell the ball. So it's a sense of where he wants to go to a place that's attractive, where he can see himself doing well and flourishing. So I do think that you had to choose. I do think that Dallas is a spot where he could go and be implemented well compared to the Giants. Bills, who knows, man? Josh Allen able to get him. I understand why he wanted to go there. I just don't know if one will be able to pay him as much because they do have a couple pieces on there that are going to get paid, if not sold or have already gotten paid. But I do think Jerry Jones will be willing to pay that pretty penny to get Odell for at least a year or two.
Yeah. Shout out to Ed. Ed says, I think Dallas coach is holding him back. McCarthy is not it for me. It's tough. That star in Dallas, man, that star in the middle of the field, man, is a gift and a curse. Because, yeah, man, America's team, man, and you can always almost argue Jerry Jones too. I mean, shout out to Jerry's World. He put a Billy up, for the stadium and whatnot, and he's done something great. But he's such a micromanager, and you wonder if that's problematic too. I just think the standards and the expectations are high. So with McCarthy's like, what kind of coach do you need to get in there to get things done? You've seen, the laid-back guys don't get it done. The guys who are overzealous. It's just a tough way to go with what people are expecting with them, we'll see what's going on with that. I want to go back to one other statement. I think did I get what Man said? That was it. So we're gonna keep watching. It's gonna be some good football to watch. So with that, we're gonna move on to talk about a little bit of college basketball, man. If you want to really look at a visual that represents college basketball, let's take it back, man, to the Air Force, to the aircraft carrier game. What a thought, and that was developed by former Michigan State athletic director, and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, Terry.
Hollis, right?
Yeah. But Hollis, shout out to Hollis. He picked up a meal for me and my family one time on Father's Day. We was out hanging out. We had a really good conversation. Shout out to him. But that was his idea. That was his concept. It came on and had a major impact. So the Spartans are going to be tipping off at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow out in San Diego. They say it's a little different. I heard some things that they're talking like the news, the media doesn't have as much access. They were on the ship like days in advance and whatnot. But now, they can barely even get access. I had an opportunity to look into going out there. Shout out to your guy, Jack Ebden. Jack talked about going out there. I don't know if Jack is out there, man. But damn, it'd be just so expensive and so much going on. And it's a great thing. But, man, I'm not trying to kill myself over that in a good way. Ron, what up, though? He said Jet Howard from Michigan. Check him out.
Monday night. Yep.
Yeah, you liking that? Huh? Yeah, I like that. Also, let's go to Hoop Scoop. Shout out to Hoop Scoops. Hoop Scoop says college basketball is back, fellas. UNC, Kentucky, Houston, Zags, and Kansas come in as favorites. That Houston, you slid that Houston in on me. I'm just saying, I got to do a little bit more research. Hoop Scoop, put me on game. How y'all seeing the Big Ten this year? Indiana, Illinois look stacked. Michigan will be a problem too. Well, the Big Ten is always going to be interesting. I'll never forget, Terry. I'll never forget the times that I pretty much embedded myself with Michigan State basketball. And when you see those games, man, the Big Ten is still the toughest conference in America, if you ask me. And it's just really tough. Those guys go back and forth all the time, man. And you take a beating in the Big Ten. Just to be able to break, get there, and go for there. Gonzaga versus Michigan, give me a winner. Gonzaga versus Michigan. You know what? Gonzaga, man, is always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Because even if they tear through the regular season, even if they dominate their conference, who's in their conference? Like, Pepperdine.
The West Coast Conference.
Yeah, man, yeah. And they was talking about possibly changing conferences, I think don't even make sense. Because they're going to really get exposed. They just not really built to win no championship at this point. That's just my view. And Mark Few, good for him. It's been able to get that far, but I just don't see anything happening. Facebook users, might be my guy Kevin, Coach Marshall. You want to go take a step back real quick. He said, I'm so disappointed in Jerry Jones. He did speak on Black Lives Matter, but I always got something. Oh, yeah, he's a micromanager. He's a micromanager to the fullest. But, Jerry Jones' biggest fear is going broke. He talked about being, his family being, they having a grocery store, and he talking about how he lost his fortune. So even with all this that he have, he stays. So that's probably why he stays like that. That trauma is still there. Really quick. Shout out Trey Williams. Hey, he said, hey, Trey, what's going on? He said, tune in late. Go Grand Ledge against Caledonia. Hey, Trey, we appreciate you and all that you guys have going on, man. Appreciate the family as well. Want to wish you guys the best. Maynard's been a big supporter of SPS, man. You guys go out there to Caledonia. I hear that the game may be like in Kent. Even still, Trey. So they're going to go out to Caledonia, man, and just go out there and give it to them, man. Go win on the road, man, and make it happen. So we want to wish you the best, and we're going to be keeping an eye out for it. Again, shout out to Trey Williams and family. Thank you for your support, and go Grand Ledge. We'll be seeing what's happening with that. Hoop Scoop says, how good do y'all think Michigan State will do? They real small this year. But, hey, man, let me tell you something. There's a great photo of Tom. It was on Instagram, man. It was like the night before the game started. He's sitting on the bench, Terry, sitting like this, like he ready. He ready, dude. That man got number love for Tom Izzo, man. That man, he's the last of the Mohicans, man. He's just go wait you out. He like Roy's done, Coach Krzyzewski is done. All these heavy hitters they done. So I'm the last one. That's why he's getting these top recruiting classes. It just don't matter because what he can do. Just like we were talking with college football is so unpredictable. He lives in that space, that unpredictable space. So as much as it may be unpredictable when they get knocked off by a team they shouldn't get knocked off by, he also, man, had them guys believing they can go in and get it done. Man said, how long Tom Izzo be number one? Be on one title. 2000s. I know, man, but Tom is like, you gonna have to kill me before it's like it's go that extended like lifetime contract. Tom trying to coach until he get one or not, and I think he got a good chance, man, because the way the game goes is. Make it to March Madness, you get on a run and something can happen. One question, then I'll get back to you, Terry. Facebook user, I think that's my guy. He says, how do you feel about Memphis this year? I think Memphis is going to continue to be a contender. I think Penny Hardaway, with them renewing his deal, with him kind of managing all the issues that was coming up, will continue to work his way to continue to have elite players. I think he's going to be the next Calipari, where all these NBA guys or NBA prospects are going to want to come see him. What do you think, Terry?
Well, I think Michigan State, the next 4 games, having Gonzaga Friday, Kentucky Tuesday, Villanova, forgot about Villanova on Friday, and then also Alabama that following Thursday. So this game, we'll understand what Michigan State is. And I think what Scoop talked about where MSU is a little small. Having, sometimes that Hall and Hauser lineup is an interesting one. It's not necessarily defensive focus with that lineup. There's not much of a defensive focus on there. But the next 2 games are against some of the best post players in college basketball. You got Drew Timme, and then you got Oscar. I don't know how to say his last name. I've been working on it. I just we got Big Oscar in there, a guy that was one of the best players last year. And then Kentucky fell short last year, but clearly a great post presence. We'll learn quick how they approach defending these bigger guys, especially when they try and play small. Mady Sissoko, a great big size, he gets in a lot of foul trouble. Doesn't stay on his feet. Kind of swats at everything, but his body control and the way he's moving in the paint looks a lot better. He looks like he's going to have a better third year.
Mady?
But,
Mady.
Yeah.
I love Mady, man.
I think, just him coming in and seeing that improvement, hitting the turnaround hook shots, nice fadeaways. His lane is always going to have an advantage to shoot over them in the close shot range. But I just think we'll understand where this team is at after this gauntlet they got to get through because and Izzo said it best. This is how this was determines where how your season goes, being top heavy and then getting into that conference play, seeing having that early gut check. I think it's nothing far from what Izzo wants his team to take experience. Get that gut check and see how you respond to it.
Yeah, Ed Banks says this team play hard, no defense, so they always have a chance. You're right. And like you said, don't get me on my soapbox when they start talking about that State Farm piece, whatever, that State Farm, that pre-Final Four that they do and just clean up and get all that bread. But, he puts himself in those type of situations, so all throughout the season he can critique doing that. I want to get some of these comments. Some of our great supporters have some comments. Man says, can he coach star players and let them play? Has been a complaint on Izzo, but he's a great coach. Yeah, Izzo has not shown, I believe, that he can take these top 4 or 5 class players, star players, and do that. But I think what's working to his advantage that what other places these guys will go? Well, you can get a guy who's a Hall of Fame coach, who's a national championship coach who can tell you about it and has so much respect from everybody. Facebook user says, how do you guys feel about Memphis? Yeah, we was talking about Penny getting that extension. I don't necessarily see – I do see Memphis just like I see Kentucky. I don't see them winning nothing. I see them just getting guys who gonna be, pro ready. That's no disrespect. I don't know what else to say, but I'm a big fan of both these guys, Coach Calipari and Penny Hardaway. I'll tell you a quick Coach Calipari story. I was with USA Basketball years ago in Vegas, and he was one of the speakers. Man, I remember trying to go get a picture with him, and the most random thing happened. Man, my digital camera ran out of space. And he was like, "Oh, your camera don't have no more space." I was sick, dog. I was sick. But from that moment on, I was like, you know what? It ain't about the pictures no more. It's about the experience. But shout out to Coach Cal, man, and what he does. Coach Cal keeps it all the way real, man. Coach Cal is a civil rights worker because he's like, look, man, I want to get these young men to the NBA. I want to get $1 billion worth of contracts. I want to get these guys straight. So we'll see. Also, Pooh in the building. Pooh, I blew my nose a second ago. I hope you didn't see that. I know you was going to be on my head about that. And then we do before we go to pool. There was somebody that had a question about Imani Bates. I think that was Boo Man. Boo Man, I ain't forget you, fam.
He's on 9 p.m.
Yep. Yeah. Eric, Imani plays his first game versus Michigan. How will Imani play against Great Count? You want him to do well, man. But listen, two things. That scouting report is coming in, man, and we'll see what happens with that. And just traditionally, Eastern has never been able to dominate Michigan, but we'll see. And secondly, man, who is he going to defend is my thing.
Yeah.
Who is he going to defend when it comes down to it?
With him, it's that first game, through all the controversy, through all the drama, right? He's going against a great defensive team. Michigan's probably going to be one of the best defensive teams this year. Juwan Howard has his guys committed to playing defense. I just think that Michigan, with Jet Howard playing so well, they got that great transfer. I don't know how to pronounce his last name right now, but I think just with Howard coming in, having his guys committed, I think Bates may have a high scoring game, but I don't think his shooting splits are going to be very well. So I think Michigan is going to commit to making him fight for his points. And I think he's going to have about a 39% shooting night, and then he may shoot maybe 30 or maybe below 30 or 3 points. He's going to get his shots up, and he may get 20 games, but I don't think it's going to be the best shooting night because of different bodies that Michigan can throw at him. They have a lot of length, and they're going to try and put a lot of pressure in. Like you said, we're going to make Imani play defense, which does take a toll on his offensive game. We got to see how Imani is able to manage playing a high-level Division I basketball team defensively, and then also coming and playing offensively and giving his team, an offensive boost.
Ed Banks, no pun intended. You said Lovejoy is going to give Michigan problem. Man, I love Orlando Lovejoy. I love that kid, man. That's my guy. That's one of the young men out here, man. Along with like the Tristan Nichols of the world and other. I just love that kid, man. So we'll see what happens with that. So to your point, Ed, he may be an X factor. I just wonder if Michigan may be too overwhelming. I want to go back. What do you think about Man's comment? He says Michigan. He didn't pose a question. He's stating that Michigan is the top school in Michigan right now. What do you think about that?
I think so. I think if I had to pick Michigan or Michigan State, that's really about who I'm choosing from. I just feel like I need to see more of MSU. After the next 4 games, I'll be able to give you a solid evaluation on MSU. Really good evaluation against the top teams. But Michigan doesn't play their first really solid, high-caliber game until that Big Ten ACC Challenge against Virginia on the 29th of November. So I think that's what we'll see if they do play Virginia at home, who's ranked. But I do think that Michigan is a top school. They just have a lot of weapons that they can just throw in. Jet Howard, and I forgot who mentioned earlier. I tuned him out. I've been hearing a lot of noise about him, but guy plays with such tempo, such a great tempo. He has a great feel of the game. Someone that is committed to doing the dirty things. He had a great loose ball and hustle and was able to steal the possession from the opposing team. I think that just shows leadership. He has leadership capabilities at such a young age. And his dad, they couldn't be more happy. I mean, it's always cool to see your son who you're like, he's only playing up as his son. When your son's good, you got that excuse to kind of favor your boy a little bit. But it's cool to see that whole team just gel around that energy and be able to play with. So I think they're the best team in Michigan right now.
Ed said Hunter gives them a big advantage, referring to Michigan. Experience big and the senior point guard. Experience really helps. Yeah. Did Hunter make a smart move by staying, or should he have left?
I think he's made a smart move for staying. I think he looks good right now. I think his body looks like he lost a little bit of weight. He's moving horizontally really well. That was the biggest weakness last year, getting up and down the court. Different transitions, pushing the pace. But now he's like, whenever I remember Nick Ward run block to block with Cassius Winston. Hunter Dickinson has been doing that as far as like the last game, getting block to block. And dude looks like he could easily win Big Ten Player of the Year. I mean, Trace Jackson is going to be there, and also Zach Edey, with his stats going to be off the chain. He's 7'11", however tall he is. But I think that Hunter Dickinson smart move by staying. You want to be able to get your best product before you transition to the league. I do think that he's going to be in the best body shape. I want to see how he shoots this year consistently behind the arc. That's something that he's going to need for the next level. I do think that he's a great basketball state and made a great decision to come back.
Yeah, I mean, but also he had the best amount of intel, Ed. I mean, you had one of the premier, most influential individuals from the NBA coaching bigs in Juwan Howard, who said, look, dude, it ain't about to pop right now. I mean, you know, come on, because you got to think about it. Juwan wants his guys to go. That's a recruiting tool. If his guys able to go and be top draft picks, they got to go. But he probably didn't see that opportunity for him. Shout out to D-Nail Jackson. What's happening? D-Nail said, I just wonder how good Hogarth would be while Hauser and every take his game to another level. You know, Joey, I think there's been Joey has not met expectations. I mean, I don't think people can argue with that. They had some big expectations going on in. And it just tells you, man, just how difficult it is to transition, man. You know, they were really big on him coming out of Wisconsin, you know, and everything that was going on. But I just think it's really been hard. But, you know, he still may have a chance. Maybe this will be the breakout season he'll need to have to go forward. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that and watch. I think we're pretty good with college basketball right now. We're going to go on to another subject, man, that maybe a little bit more deeper than what we're talking about with these hoops, man. But I think it's just been appropriate if you just follow the natural news cycle and what's going on, man. Talk about going from Ye to Kyrie. And I could have easily said Kanye to Kyrie, but I want to respect Ye because Ye has changed his name to Ye. And he's officially changed his name some time ago. If you notice some of his communication with media at the time, like, man, stop calling me Kanye. I told you that, and it reminds me of Muhammad Ali. And before y'all start jumping out the screen talking about don't be comparing Kanye or any guy to Muhammad Ali, I think it's worth saying because there's a book written by Travis. Oh, what's our buddy's name? Travis. Sorry, he used to come on late night, but he wrote the book, and it was talking about the final years of Dr. King. And what people don't recognize, man, is that Dr. King's popularity was extremely low before he died. Dr. King was villainized. It wasn't until after his death and after the passage of the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights legislation, that he was kind of heralded as a civil rights hero. But during the time when he and I'm going to draw some parallels here, and I don't want people to start, you know, losing their mind because, you know, how we look at icons and, to be honest, how people look at what's going on. I know I got some more comments, guys. I'll get to them. But I see so many parallels that when we look, Tavis Smiley, thank you, Terry McCord Sr. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, brother. You probably said it out loud before you talk. You're like, Tavis Smiley. Thank you, Terry. That's my guy right there. Got a shout out to my guy right there, Courtney Alexander. What up, fam? Courtney, that's my guy right here. Shout out to Jacob and shout out to your new beautiful bundle of joy, man. So happy for you. We got to get up. So what I want to do, man, I do want to draw a parallel, man, because despite how we feel about what Kyrie and Kanye are saying, good, better, and different, we're having this dialogue. And there's somebody I want to go to and I want to give a hero award to. I want to seriously recognize, this is no cap, as we say. That's this young man right here, Max Kellerman. Lindsay, why are you shouting out Max Kellerman with some of his oddball sports views and whatnot? Because Max Kellerman, who's part of Keyshawn, like I don't know what's going on, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Shout out to my guys right there. I love waking up to them in the morning, man. They morning show, man. It's so cool. It's like all is well with the world when I get up and turn it on. But you know why Max deserves this award? Because he's the only member of the Jewish community talking about this. He's the only member of the Jewish community talking. And even though he has said some things like, man, you know, some of these conspiracy theories like the Jews run the media are not true. Now, some people may argue different. But here's the thing I can respect about Max. He's talking about it. As an African-American man, particularly during my time in education, when they would be having out these big events that are taking place and all this type of stuff, and they'll finally have a discussion about race or something like that, Terry, all the white people stop talking. So you have all these African-American people, men and women, out there expressing themselves with the hope that this is going to be an opportunity for dialogue, and they left there. And that's been what America's theme has been. So shout out to Max Kellerman, who's talking now. Another reason why I want to acknowledge that, because the late great Nelson Mandela, man, he used sports as a way to bring a country together. You know, when he the Springboks, which refers to the South African rugby team, when he took that away and had an opportunity to take that away from the white South Africans, he chose not to, and he came under fire from, you know, people of his own tribe, you know, people who were his political supporters. But someone made a point, and I agree, man, sports has really been the vessel that allowed us to be able to address issues that relate to civil rights and what's going on in the world. If I was somewhere else and I started talking about Jews in the media or just talking about Jewish people in general, you know, they'd probably come and cut me off real quick. But the reality is this, man, until we're able to have some dialogue, and it's not just a one-way discussion, or you have it, I'm going to put up what some would definitely call a controversial visual, but we're going to talk about it, man. And I'm going to get to Courtney's statement, too. My guy Courtney just put a comment up, but the NBA neutered black athlete. Kyrie is being silenced, and you see these depictions of Adam Silver in the back. And this is a very extreme visual. Let me say that this is not the everyday type of visual I'll put out, but I think, you know, using this as a talking point, where you see, you know, all these other guys. You haven't heard nothing from the James Harden, from the Steph Currys. LeBron has been trying to do his best to communicate on this. Kevin Durant and Kyrie is out here, man. I just wonder, man, where history is going to place us when we look back on this. Okay, so let me go to Courtney's comment, and I would love to hear what you think about this. Courtney says, those brothers are not wrong. Yes, Ye's delivery man, not to be understood and a little out of the box, but Kyrie is a prime example. I mean, I just say this to you, Terry, when we fast forward, when your beautiful wedding day comes and you start your beautiful family, and we look back and time is gone, and, you know, these things on social media allow us to go back and look from a historical context. I wonder how it's going to sound when they say, man, yeah, man, during COVID, the only player in the NBA not to take the COVID vaccine was Kyrie Irving. And how history is going to look at him. Yeah, and also, too, man, he spoke out about, from Jews to Hebrews. There's a chance, man, when we all are gone, there's nothing left but this digital trace of who we are. Hell, there's a chance that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving going to be hailed as the most influential people in society. Now, I know people are just tripping, like, hold on, but I'm just saying, though, man, when we look at what's happening in modern pop culture, we look at it going through our experience as a parent, as a father, as a friend, as a husband, as a wife, whatever it is, but you also look at it as it relates to what you're committed to. Man, I got to go to work. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my sponsors. I don't want to have no controversy. So we're not even really being our real selves, because if you being your real self, when you go to work, why you say stuff different than when you say it at home? So I'm saying when we look back, it may be different. So I want to get your thoughts on that. And Kenny says, so do y'all think Kyrie Irving deserves to miss 5 games? You know what? Here's what I say to that. 5 games, apology, keep it moving. Okay? Because that there is a part of status quo that works. But the excessive, as LeBron James referred to, the excessive list of things, come on, man. No, man. Yeah, and then here's the thing. It's so one-dimensional. And then the latest that, Phil Knight comes on and says, no, man, we done with him. And you saw when I sent you that comment today, I didn't mean to burn your Christian ears cursing on the text message, Terry, but, I was saying, this that BS again. So is Phil Knight under pressure from people saying, look, man, we need you to take a strong statement on this? Yeah. And who knows what Phil Knight's business dealings are and how they tied up to where he like, no, I got to speak on it. Because let's just get right to it, Terry, and I'll leave it at that. When it comes down to having these conversations, it's all about how it affects the bag, how it affects your bag. And if it's going to have a major impact on your bag, i.e. LeBron James, whoever it may be, you got to be careful how you speak on it. But in the same sense, man, that's just who we call to be. Last thing I'll say, Terry, I know I've been setting you up to come speak for the longest, but I remember when I left corporate America. This has nothing to do with the particular corporation I work for, but I had to make a decision for myself. Was a 6-figure income the most important thing? And in some cases not. Now, that's 6 figures for me. Mm-hmm. Now, these guys talking about 7, and, some of these guys talking 8 figures when we talk about Jay and talking about LeBron and all these guys. It's just about who you are and who you want to live with. So looking at Kenny's comment and tell me what you think. Didn't LeBron James come under some heat for his comments first, and then he had some different comments today? Don't know the full. Yeah, he did. He came out at first, with the standard, you don't want to say things that's hate speech, which I understand. But then he also said that what was going on with Kyrie was excessive. I think that's the authentic LeBron saying, "No, man, I can't go out like that. Let me use my leverage." But Terry, I'm going to be quiet, man. I stepped down off my soapbox. So what do you think about when we talk about from Ye to Kyrie? Because we have literally gone from talking about Kanye West, Ye that is, because he was the dominant person in the news, to now it's just swapped out. Now it's Kyrie Irving. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I understand. And I appreciate you shouting out Max because I feel like Max is doing things that that we don't usually see. I mean, having a conversation about these things, and I think that goes to show where Max is at in his platform with ESPN. But also, I think it goes to show what happens when you have to sit down and have these conversations. I do think that this is something that Kyrie. Only way I feel like Kyrie was wrong necessarily in this whole thing. Granted, how you feel. I didn't like how he said he didn't promote it. Because anytime you share something or take a picture of something on your social media, you are indeed promoting it. It just goes without saying it. But I do think that list is just cruel, man. It just shows, and it's a political correct stance from the Nets. I mean, in New York, the high population of Jewish communities, and also I think a lot of them who are Nets fans. So I think that them taking that such a harsh of a stance, I think shows that they back that community. I just feel like we just have never seen anything like this. I mean, we haven't even seen this from players who have had sexual assault or sexual harassment allegations and stuff like that. We haven't seen this big of a list. I mean, we're talking about meeting with the rabbi. We're talking about donating any year. Like, if you look at all that Kyrie has given, paid tuition to Lincoln U, HBCU school, help George Floyd's family, etc. Right? You can just list all the things that Kyrie has done. I just like, man, I think 5 games is to push it. I mean, I think the more and more we fight of why he should have 0 games suspended, I think that just hurts him. I think that hurts him more because then in the end he's going to come back with harsher consequences. So I just do think that right now, I do think it's interesting that they're coming so hard, that Nike and all these players are saying different things, even though they have their controversial things that are going on. I just think that everyone is kind of taking the easy way, and instead of having these conversations, like there's a right way to have this conversation without any hate speech. I think so. And I actually watched that film that he sent.
You saw it.
And I don't necessarily, to me, I don't think there was much hate speech in there, in my opinion. I think that I would argue that there wasn't. No, I think it's a factual film that I think could have been. I say like this.
Be careful, they go take your Nikes, Terry. Be careful, they go take your Nikes.
To me, it was a film that was used that is meant to be used as a reference. So for people to point back to. Now, when people use that and do the superiority, where it's like, oh, we here, or when they start to put each other over one another, I do think that is when you see the hate speech, where people are saying, oh, see, that's why we this, that's why we that. I don't think Kyrie is anti-Semitic. I don't think he was using it to be superior. I do think that Kyrie is truly trying to find his identity and trying to find who he is. And I think that's why. I think if I had to be honest, I think that's why he sent it. Because he's like, okay, this is part of who I am. You know what I mean? But then when people come at him, I think Kyrie, which is one of those players that's tired of explaining himself, tired of showing his true intentions, but that's just what you signed up for, bro. Like, when people ask you these things and see you send stuff, we do deserve an explanation because it can be used, which you could say it doesn't, but I feel like in such a thing like that, when they are saying these terms on you, I would just come out and clarify it right away. Like, hey, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. This is just used as a place to see who I really am. And we just let them know. So I think they double down on it and not really coming out and saying, I'm not promoting it. I'm just showing that this play here is just showing who I am. I do think that having a factual film like that is something you can point to and use as a reference I think can be used to then put the superiority over each other, which then you could argue with that being anti-Semitic. I don't think Kyrie at all was using it to do that.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing, and I think this speaks totally to culture. And it's ironic. I'm looking at Jalen and Jacoby right now, African American. I want to say that Jacoby represents the Jewish community. If I'm wrong, forgive me for that. African Americans, we talk about our issues. We communicate about our issues. Hell, if you want to learn about African Americans, you got everything you can turn on TV, whether it's some damn slave movie that's coming out again, or something about culture. So there's this, verbose discussion and dialogue.
Yeah.
I am limited in my understanding of Jewish culture. Now, ironically, even before the Ye stuff jumped off, I would catch a Netflix and watch some things. And be honest, man, I found out some things about the Jewish culture, referring to the Hasidic Jews, that was eye-opening, and I just didn't know it was very different. Being from Detroit, if I go home and one of my favorite restaurants is Giorgio's in Oak Park, there's a very strong Hasidic Jew community right there. But here's the thing, though, man. How you going to really give me grief when this is something people don't even educate people on?
Right.
They're trying to say, well, he's not saying the fact. Well, y'all don't even talk about the stuff, is my point. It's so hush and it's so dangerous to say anything revolving Jewish people that there's not enough education from the general public about what's going on. And then when someone says, yeah, well, it's a conspiracy, when you talk about, the GDP, or I shouldn't say the GDP, but the annual household income on average from African Americans is approximately $24,000. And then you talk about for a Jewish family, it's $100,000. And then you're saying, but you don't want to have no discussion about inequity and what's going on. And if I say, well, damn, man, the Jews got all the money, I'm wrong. That's hate speech. But you never gave me an opportunity to be educated on what we even talking about. And that's why I big up a Max Kellerman, because I say, damn, a Jewish person talking about Jewish issues. And I'm not talking about no rabbi. I'm not talking about no rabbi that comes. I'm talking about straight up, go to work every day, handle your business, Jewish person talk about. So here's what I'll say to this. Shout out to your dad, Terry. He says the film and book were labeled anti-Semitic, but were they speaking the truth is the question. Well, Terry, we don't even know because we don't have these type of dialogues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To even know. But what's happened is this standard has been set that speaking on Jews has become the third rail in American society.
Yeah.
So whatever you say, you got to worry about. But thank goodness for platforms like this, because I don't know if I could go on someone else's platform and do this without run the risk of the producer coming in, man, you got to shut that down. So I say, until the Jewish community is willing to have more dialogue to breed more understanding, you're going to continue to have these type of issues.
And it was dismissed before we could actually discern the information. Like before we could actually sit on it and read it. I mean, not read it, watch it, and had dialogue about it. It was already dismissed. And so
and you were vilified for having any connection to it.
Right. And the thing is, the hard thing right now, especially in this age, when you take away and you label information before actually taking it in, that's so dangerous. And then before you actually block someone off from viewing that and this and that, so it's hard because you should want to read it. That's why I watched the film. At first I didn't have an interest in it, but I was like, you know what, I actually want to watch it. I paid for it, I watched it, I rented it.
You paid the $10 for it?
I did. And I almost got through it. I had like about 30 or some minutes left.
How long is it?
I'm not paying that $12 to watch it again.
Oh, because you have to rent again. How long is it?
It's the whole. It's about, I want to say, most of 3 hours.
And here's what's crazy: somebody's profiting from this controversy.
And Amazon is one of those profiters. Amazon. No one has listened to them at all. Shout out Jay Will. Jay Will has been standing on this.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we can talk about Kyrie. We can hold him accountable. But Amazon is selling on their platform for $12 every 48 hours. And you can buy it for $50.
What's my man name that from Speak for Yourself? Jason Whitlock switched it up. Mm-hmm. He called Amazon. I was like, how y'all gonna be going in on Kyrie with this? And everybody looking at Jason, we're like, man, he turned the tires with that. Well, I would tell everybody, educate yourself the most you can, and hopefully that will lead to more. We won't beat this into the ground, but I think it was appropriate to discuss it because it is definitely in the news. But I'm going to stay with some New York Net news. Jauque Vaughn has taken over as the head coach. Man, they ran the bait and switch on us real big with that Ime to the Nets, didn't they? We just knew Ime posted up. We was calling him man of the year. He didn't, had his stuff in Celtic Town, and now he transitioned over here. But I think Jauque Vaughn has won the respect, of his players. And as some said, they're looking to play better. I want to say somebody made a comment. I want to go back real quick to make sure we have that referring to those guys. But we'll definitely see what happens. I don't want to forget Kenny's comment. I think Kenny said that LeBron James coming to some heat. Did we talk about that?
We did.
That? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting it. So yeah, Jauque Vaughn is doing this thing, man. I mean, how do you think that's gonna work? Hoop Scoop said it. Nets hired Vaughn. Nets been playing better and harder and getting a few wins without Kyrie Irving. They couldn't hire Ime Udoka with all that, man. Yeah, I think a lot of those things, and we become a victim of it. Even with our platform, they run test balloons. They'll put out there, I wonder how people are feeling. They'll leak something and people will run with it, and then you start getting all the vitriol to see where people are at with it. And that'll make the determination of what happens. But, hey, it is what it is. I mean, this may have been the case the whole time. So what do you think about Jauque Vaughn taking over?
I think Jauque Vaughn, obviously played in the league, you mentioned earlier, for 12 years. Coached for about 12 years. Finished in San Antonio. Pop took him, had him as an assistant coach. Another Popovich guy, just like Ime is. Another Popovich guy.
That pop tree is strong, man. That pop coaching tree is strong.
It is. I mean, as far as getting coaches hired and having them stay in the league for a while, I think Pop is the greatest among all sports. I think Nick Saban is right there behind him. But Pop and what he's done and bringing coaches in and really teaching them the way of the game and really having them run their programs or run their teams that way. I mean, you're seeing it. Just like Steve Kerr, Jauque Vaughn, to me, is going to help Kevin Durant elevate his game. I think he's going to bring the best product out of Brooklyn. And a lot of that is just spacing. I mean, Kevin Durant's been playing really well. I think getting Seth Curry back as shooter, I think he played really well last night. Getting him in there, Joe Harris back rolling. Ben Simmons didn't look too bad last night, but you see a lot more spacing. And I think what Jauque Vaughn brings to the team, one, just professionalism. I mean, for him to be in this moment, focus on his team, getting these wins. I do agree with Hoop Scoop saying that he maybe would have brought too much controversy into a team that's already dealing with a lot. I think Jauque Vaughn is a guy that just a sense of professionalism. I mean, right in the game, just treat it like any other game. KD stopped him and was like, hey, this is the interim title is gone. This is your first head coach win. But I think Jauque is just in a mindset where just one game at a time, leading his troops to battle, and wants to work on being the best team. And I think, Kevin Durant is going to benefit from this, a guy that just wants to play ball and really help his team become better. I do see, as far as their system and team, I do like it a lot better than that. And I do think Jauque Vaughn is going to be around for a while. So we've seen it. He's been around different coaching staffs, played in the league. So I think it's a great hire. A guy that seems to be a player's coach. Kevin Durant had that relationship. But I think Cam Thomas and I think Claxton's playing better this year. A lot of players that are starting to spread their wings and grow. I think getting more opportunities because of the system that they run. They're getting everybody involved in the game.
Yeah, I mean, also Jauque Vaughn had the benefit of sitting back. Shout out to my late brother, Sean Huddleston. He passed away. But, hey, you don't want to be the first one through the window because when I was, 8th grade and my brother, Sean would have been like, I was a freshman, he was a senior, and my mother, I don't think she's on the show right now, I would see him at parent-teacher conference getting in trouble. Yeah. And I would sit back and be like, I don't got to touch the stove to see that it's hot. I say that to say Jauque Vaughn was able to sit and see what was working and wasn't working. And then put his own on there to add, and have an impact on them and what's going on. I think that's something to watch. You want to wish him the best success and what's going on. To other NBA news, before I go back to Eric, a lot of people have been putting this out there. Melissa said, what's going on with Miles Bridges and his wife. Also, it was Linnea. Hey, Linnea, how you doing? Did y'all see Miles Bridges' baby mom's video? Any updates on this? Why isn't he on an NBA team? I haven't seen the video. I don't know about this. Talk about, I don't know. I'm not educated on what's going on.
It was on TMZ. It was on TMZ.
Is this the video of her showing what happened after she got beat up?
No, it was a video where she was trying to break into the house. Miles Bridges and a homie in there. Homie was recording it. She was trying to break in there with the hose piece. It was trying to break the door so she could get in. And Miles just there holding the door, trying not to let her in. I think it might just be a retaliation off the ruling. I mean, fled no contest. I think 3 months of probation, right? And then he should be on the team. Again, another short list for a guy that, compared to Kyrie, again, another short list of things to do. But, I mean, just a lot of stuff going on, man. And not only wisdom on that, and just seeing it. Be careful who you have babies with. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm learning. Be careful who you have babies with. That's it.
Tell you something. I'll say this, I'm grateful that my ex-wife, who's the mother of my daughter, is who she is. At the end of the day, you may not get along, as my mother would say. Her mother, my grandmother, would say, talking about my granddad, he'd say, he may not always be my wife. I may not always be his wife, but he gonna always be your daddy. So at the end of the day, man, it comes out. Latasha, when you say she was acting out, give me a little bit more context when you say that. Yeah, I get it acting out, but what's up with that? Ron said,
the kids were there watching, playing around. You know what I'm seeing, mom and dad. I mean, you just can't think of the trauma.
Clearly, they got a fiery relationship, man. And then when, people respond like that, that's not good, man. I just say that, man. I understand, man. When you got two people, man, who can get heated, and they both go up and one doesn't come down, because sometimes you have a passive personality that can go off the other. But no, when it's like that, it's dangerous, man. And what we said earlier, you messing up the bag in a major way. Eric Booman John said, hey, let's not graze over how bad the Lakers are. Oh my God, LeBron can't carry a team anymore, and AD left his game in the bubble. Yeah, man. LeBron just go ahead and get the scoring title. If we have to say goodbye to him in the next couple seasons without seeing another run for a championship, it is what it is, man. I mean, he still will go down as one of the greatest. The thing about sports, man, you can't always script it, but then sometimes the most unscripted thing, end up being, the most impactful. Yeah, man, it's tough to watch. And then, now he got a growing injury. I get to sit for a minute. I get to, take a break. I don't care what you say. That's
the only team sharing about that situation is that the Pelicans have their pick. So Pelicans are going to be getting the top. Depending on how things finish, if we're going based off right now, the Pelicans are probably going to have the first pick right now in the draft. It could get Victor or whoever that pick trade away.
So that tanking won't get him anything. So we're going to see. Well, let's stay with some NBA, but we'll take a little old school, man. It's going to be some smoke in the city. Let's talk about beef. Talk about the age-old beef between Isaiah, Zeke Thomas, and Michael Jordan. So Isaiah recently said that man gonna have to come out and apologize to me. I don't appreciate that. And he said, I'm from the west side of Chicago. Now, ironically, Charles Oakley was on All the Smoke, and I only saw it out of context. But he said, oh yeah, Isaiah mad because Jordan took over his city. Now, one could argue, like he was a hometown favorite, and then pretty much Mike just became that. But, man, let me tell you something, man. I'm a Detroiter, man. You see me representing West 7 Mile right here, 7 Mile and Henry Ford. I mean, Zeke, man, Zeke is one of them dudes that you wouldn't like him unless he was on your team. He on my team, so I love Zeke. And Zeke can be petty. Zeke can be messy. It may be a little slight Napoleonic complex going on, whatever, whatnot. But at the end of the day, hey, Mike couldn't do nothing with Zeke. And that's the part where I think the beef, it goes both ways. Because one could argue, all right, yeah, you came and took over my city, whatever, and they just love you and adored you. You iced me out of the dream team and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Zeke was beating on MJ head, dog. And like they say, what's that stat? I'm the only guy that defeated like Zeke. Now, y'all only that defeated Magic, Bird, and Jordan. Yeah. So Zeke, like, I got a reason to have my beef. I just think, man, we still dealing with two alphas. at the end of the day. I mean, think about it, these are the same guys who led their teams to victory. You know what I'm saying? Led their teams to championships. So what you gonna think? Now, Hoop Scoop has a very detailed post that we will go to. I'm not really sure exactly everything in it. Let's see what Hoop's got going on. Hoop Scoop, what up? He said, why does Isaiah Thomas want Jordan to apologize when Isaiah was, for the last 5 to 7 years, have been on shows shading Jordan? When asked about the top 5 players, he won't include Jordan. Yeah, we know about that. Also, I'm going to get you in the second round, Ron. Latasha, I'm going to get you too. Oh, yeah. Oh, these are the comments they've been waiting on. The comments blowing up. Nah, just wait a second, Terry. Then Isaiah tries to pat himself on the back as a goody good guy when he questioned his best friend's sexuality. Oh, when he got HIV. Oh, you taking it way back. The kiss at half court and all that. Okay. But Isaiah, for some reason, talks about Michael. Michael never speaks publicly about Isaiah, and he needs to move on. Let me go to the other comments. Oh, Tasha, this was the one from earlier. She's talking about acting crazy in front of kids. That's not good. She said she was there for 6 hours with the kids. Have to set a better example. You're right about that. But the emotions get the best of them. Ron said, Isaiah Thomas just seems bitter. It's only beef on Isaiah's side. Yeah. Tasha said, I can't believe they still beefing.
This stuff lasts a lifetime.
Hey.
When he took stuff personally, and then Isaiah, being kept away from that team. I just feel like it's going to be stuff that's going to last. And both, because they both won in their era. So.
Hey, but check this out, though. Isaiah Thomas is the old dog from Menace to Society. I ain't letting it ride. Hey, but here's the thing, though. What Ron said, the Pistons did, but Michael Jordan isn't paying him no mind. Hey, but check it out, though, man. And maybe it's just the Detroit in me, man. It's a 7 Mile. I love it. I love it, dude. I love it, dog. They can just be like, I love it. Zeke like, nah, dog, I'm straight on you until you apologize to me publicly. But that's Isaiah, though. That's Isaiah, man. Isaiah's stubborn. He ain't moving on that, man. He don't want to hear it, dude. Hoop School said, but it's Michael Jordan beefing. He just said he don't like Isaiah. Isaiah wants a hug or something. Look, man, it just is what it is, man. That's just some deep stuff. And you got to think about it, man. You know, just that transition when the Bulls finally beat the Pistons and all that kind of stuff. It's just deep, man. I mean, you got to think about the same emotion. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just trying to explain. You know, the same emotions that drive people to win and be successful are the same emotions that keep them like this. Ron says, will Michael Jordan say sorry? Heck no. Never. Neither one of them will. No, neither one. No, a gun to the head won't do it. Some little kid about to fall over into a waterfall won't do it. It's going to have to be the darndest thing to do it, man. But they are just two super alpha males. And they each got their own individual legacy, and they not letting up. I don't care. Don't matter to me none. It just is what it is.
For the last 20 years, still going to be there.
Yeah, and also, too, man, them battles was epic. The Pistons versus the Bulls? Come on, man. Like, they was fighting, dude. That's the last time we saw fights in the NBA. Why does Isaiah keep bringing it up? Yeah, well, because I think both of them, I think Isaiah is trying to manage his legacy. You know, the older you get, the more you think about how to manage your legacy. And you know, and he has a platform. Think about MJ probably could, you know, say something or tweet something and it'll just, you know, break the internet, but he doesn't communicate and Isaiah does. It is what it is. And maybe if I wasn't from Detroit, I probably would have a different perspective. But I'm from the D and I'm like, hey, we ride together, we die together. I got nothing but love for Zeke with the beef. We got a few more things, man. We having a long show. You would think it was about 3 or 4 of us on the show, man, with the time we at right now. Well, the last thing we'll say, man, before we get out of here, man, shout out to Dusty Baker and the Astros, man. My Monday motivation this week was acknowledging him. And even when once they made it to the World Series, I wanted to talk about Dusty, man. If you don't know, man, it's a great story. Why do they call him Dusty? If you guys go back on my Facebook or YouTube, I tell you the story. They called him Dusty because his dad had planted a garden in the back. It's like a huge field in the back. But Dusty always found himself playing in the dirt spot, Terry. Thus, he got the name Dusty Baker. And, you know, I'm just going to, you know, give Dusty his roses. I talked about this before. Named Johnny B. Baker Jr. And so you can win trivia questions. They ask you that. And he said, they call me Dusty because we had a big backyard that my dad planted, had grass everywhere, and I always did that. But, what people don't know, man, is that Dusty had problems growing up. His dad was his little league coach, Terry. His dad had to kick him off the team for a bad attitude.
Wow.
So Dusty is the great example of how you can get people on the right track. You say, he had a lot of problems, and, him and his dad fell out. People don't know about that either, because Dusty was getting recruited to go play baseball, and his dad didn't want him to go. He wanted him to go to school. So his dad sued him.
What?
His dad sued Dusty. They didn't talk for 3 years. Real tough. See, people, here's the thing, man. And I'm not, forgetting. I know today is Thursday. It's not Monday with my Monday motivation, man. People don't understand, man. We see the success and all that, man, but we don't be knowing the stories. Dusty didn't. They said, I want to say 6 years they didn't talk, but they said for 3 years they didn't talk, and it took another 3 years to get it together. And then this is him when he was a young Dusty Baker. He was mentored by, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on a Hall of Famer. He was mentored by who's the Braves Hall of Famer, who broke the record.
Was it Aaron?
Yeah. Thank you. I knew one. Hank Aaron. I knew one of Terry's gonna help me. Either Terry Jr. or Terry Sr. was gonna help me. Look at the top. Yeah, his dad sued him. He sued him because he didn't want him to go to play, and they fell out for some years. Can you imagine going 3 years without talking to your dad? But they finally got that on track. But I say all that to say that Dusty Baker, man, has really made some inroads. Just really made a huge impact. And it's not to overshadow the Houston Astros winning. I think it was noteworthy that this was one of the first World Series. There were no African American players on either team, from what I understand. So the irony of Dusty as an African American leading the way to do that. What's your thought on Dusty and the Astros winning the World Series, Terry?
Well, I learned a lot about Dusty during that 30 for 30 about Sammy Sosa and, that home run race. I learned a lot about Dusty in that, and him and Tony La Russa going at it at each other. I can see their attitude in that video. Dusty, his veins popping on the side of his head, yelling at Tony. So, Dusty and all the players on the Astros, Jose Altuve, key player on their team, was talking about what Dusty means to the organization. This is a class act and a guy that, they wouldn't have wanted anyone else to come in after the controversy and the sign stealing. Dusty is the perfect person to come in there. Has took teams to the World Series, but could never do it. But this year, finally was able to do it with that great squad. I mean, great regular season, winning over 100 games. I believe they won 106 games, but for them to be able to cap it off against a hot Phillies team, for them to do it the way they did.
Yeah, people thought they was going to shut it down. It was up 2-0. They thought it was a wrap.
Philly with Bryce Harper was playing the way he's playing and deserves his money. But I just think that Dusty, they're just saying, man, we want to do it for Dusty. We want to do it for Dusty. It just shows what he meant to them and what kind of leadership, how he carried himself in that locker room. Yeah, he deserves it. I'm surprised. When it first came out with number one, I was like, man, his first one. But I think, just for him to, I think that first one is worth about 3. Just the fact that the Astros won. It's their first one, all the sign feeling. Just for him to calm that down and to put them back in the game stand.
Yeah, man. It's just something to see, man. The Astros and what they've done to kind of overcome the adversity they have for Dusty to come out. Dusty was done. He had stepped away a few seasons ago. Yeah. But the GM that reached out to him made the right call. You see, they've extended his contract for an additional year, and I think that's great. So he can have a swan song and go. And I just think a lot to be said. He's considered one of the most influential coaches and motivating individuals. He's part of an organization of coaches that give help. Other players would talk about playing for him, and all these greats, not just baseball greats, but just greats would always come to the practices to want to come see Dusty. Like this homage, they would come pay so much homage to him going forward. I thought it was something that was interesting too. So as you are a coach as well, he said, you got to make things fun. And I think that's probably why he's been able to reinvent himself. He's always able to connect with the young people. So you got to make it fun for him and make it competitive. And it is what it is, man. So I'm so impressed and happy for Dusty Baker as well as the Astros and what they're doing, man. It's just individuals like him are just national treasures. And, dude, to get to the top of your respective field with a name like Dusty,
It's almost like Booger, man.
Yeah, that's a little different for me.
Booger a little worse.
Yeah, that's a little different for me. But it's close. Well, you know what? You know what it is? It's the way Booger talks, and I'm not talking about his voice inflection.
Southern?
No, I just think Booger just comes off as someone. Booger has said things that I've heard that made me feel like he was not.
He does come off very arrogant.
Well, not even that. I want to say that he may say he's saying something that's in the best interest of the athlete, but at the end of the day, I think
I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's to the athlete's detriment, and it's almost like I think Booger talks down on people. You said it right. You said arrogant. Yeah, you said it. You said it. Yeah. You can't be arrogant with a name like Booger, dude. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that. Well, Terry, man, we didn't put in about an hour and a half, man. We miss Coach Orlando Watkins, but I appreciate you. I want to say thank you to everybody who came in and your comments and how you guys have been promoting the show. It's really appreciated. You know, Terry, we're looking at this calendar, man. Pretty soon we get into the holidays and we have to do our Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max break. We have to take a little bit of break, but we'll figure out what happens. But Terry, you got anything for us before we get out of here?
No, we just had my first team meeting Eastern Girls Basketball. So
yeah,
it sucks with the girls games, man. We mostly play on Thursdays. So I think for us, we might figure out something. But definitely, I'm just excited for it. You know, definitely excited for the team we got coming in. But I ain't trying to hear that go blue stuff.
Bill Barber, my bro, Bill Barber, he said last word, go blue for taste.
I ain't saying all that, man. You know,
hey man, you got people who literally come on the show to be able to tell you go blue. Oh my God, I love you, Bill. I love you for that, man.
They gotta bring it up so much, you know, because evil hates good so much. You know what I mean? That's how much evil hates good. Go blue, Michigan gotta always find a way to creep up on it, but we're not hearing that negativity.
Bill, I love it, brother. You made my day. Bill say, yup. He say, last word, go blue for Terry. Hey, we're going to leave it at that, man. With that being said, this is Lindsay Hudson with the SPS Edge Show. My guy, Terry McCord Jr. Shout out to Coach Orlando Watkins. Appreciate you, Bill Barber. Appreciate everybody else. We see you guys next week, man. Peace.